Lammy, thanks for joining us ahead of the trade period. Can you tell us about the club's overall trade philosophy heading into next week?
Thanks, Matty. Like every year, our overall philosophy will be try and improve our list moving into next year to help set us up for short, medium and long term. We'll look at every avenue you can, whether that be free agency, trade, and then obviously that flows into the draft. So all those mechanisms we'll look at.
With that said, how do you balance the list improvement from loyalty of players who have delivered so much to the club over the years?
Yeah, that's a good question, and we've got a lot of terrific players on our list who've given a lot for the club, who are premiership players. But at the end of the day, we're charged with making decisions that are in the best interest of the club, and we'll do those things respectfully and honestly. Have those conversations if they need to be had, and if you do that, you can achieve both outcomes.
Can you give us insight into what you're thinking, Tim, in terms of, will we be looking at experienced talent, or do you see draft picks as more the priority this year for us?
Yeah, Matty, it's always a balance. You've always got to be mindful of bringing in young talent and also aim to improve the list with some experienced guys if you can as well. We've gone really hard at the draft the last 2 years, and our supporters will be obviously really excited by those four boys who are early selections. 4 top 12 picks over a 2-year period have already shown what they're made of. So we are in a strong position. We've got a really exciting group of 24, 25 and unders, balanced with some elite older players that we think we're in a position to make some really sound decisions about bringing in talent.
Stephen May's been a premiership player. How do you approach discussions with him about his future?
Yeah, like we touched on earlier, he had a really honest and mature conversation with Steve about what the future looks like. First of all, Steve's been a great player for our club, and he's contracted for next year, so there's a strong chance that he's still here. We spoke to him about the potential for him to extend his career, and if he could do that at another club, we would support that. But we're also really aware and really comfortable, if that doesn't work out for Steve, that he comes back in day one pre-season and gets to work.
Judd McPhee's indicated a desire to return back to WA. How are you approaching that situation with his management?
Yeah, we're disappointed from that decision by Judd. He's out of contract. We've been trying to recontract Judd since the middle of last year, put a number of different options to him. Judd was a rookie selection, a great pick by Jason and the team, who's developed into a really critical part of our team, definitely a part of our best 23 and a big part of our plans going forward. So unfortunately he's out of contract and looks like he wants to head back to WA, so we now work as hard as we can to get the best result we can for the club.
You've had discussions with Charlie Spargo about what the future looks like for him. Can you give us an update there? Yep,
so Charlie's an unrestricted free agent, and he indicated to us that he wanted to explore his free agency options, and then subsequently he secured a deal at North Melbourne, which is unreal for Charlie. He's a premiership player, a really popular figure, terrific player. He's had a really tough 2 years. Spargs has missed pretty much all of the last 2 years with injury, hasn't played any significant footy at all. So he needed to secure his future somewhere, and he's able to do that with a really good deal at North Melbourne. So we're actually really excited for Charlie and really happy for him.
Christian Petrarca's name has once again been discussed in the media. Can you give us an insight into where things are at with Christian and his management?
Yeah, so we met with Track late last week, and he indicated a desire to have a fresh start somewhere else. So it's pretty clear from our point of view, Christian's a contracted player for the next 4 years. He's a generational talent. He's a great of our club. And whatever happens about Christian's future, any decision that he's made will be made in the best interests of the Melbourne Football Club.
With that said, how do you see us balancing the short-term competitiveness with the long-term list build, Tim?
Yeah, as I said, I think we've managed that pretty well recently. We've got a really terrific mix of, elite talent and emerging talent that we think is going to really drive us forward. So we think those guys can come on really quickly. We've already seen the emergence of some of them in terms of Langford, Lindsay, Windsor, Thelstrup, these guys. But we've got some young tools that we're really excited about at either end of the ground. Jed Adams only got the 1 game, but he's ready to go. Daniel Turner's really developing well. Our young key forwards are super exciting. So along with the established stars of Lever, Gawn, Pickett, these types, Viney, we think we're in a really good spot to jump. We're disappointed with the last 2 years, but we think we're in a good spot to push ahead going forward.
As we head into the free agency trade period drafts, are there any types of players or positions that we're looking to target to bring into the club to make our list better?
Yeah, there is, Matty. We want to look at bolstering our ruck division. Obviously, we've got Gorney, who's, of the greatest, and he's well supported by Tommy Campbell. But we do need to bring in a developing ruck. It is a challenge with Gorney there, but we need to target the right guy who's going to come in and learn under Max, and hopefully take over from him whenever Max retires. We also think an experienced key forward would be a good addition to the list. We're really excited by our young guys, Jefferson, Van Rooyen, Kentfield, Aidan Johnson's young in AFL terms. But we do need some support down there for those guys to help their development, so that if we could achieve that, that'd be a great outcome as well.
As it sits, we don't have a first round draft pick. Is that something we'll be looking to get back into in the next few weeks?
Yeah, that was quite deliberate. You remember last year we traded back into last year's draft class, which I think universally was regarded as one of the better draft pools that we've seen for a long time. So we really targeted the top end of that draft as well as part of a strategy to group the 4 boys over a 2-year period. So trading out of this year, which is a heavily compromised draft in terms of father, son and academy selections, we're able to bring in Xavier Lindsay to add to Harvey Langford and Caleb and Colton. So to group those 4 boys together was that plan, and that's why we're not in this part of the draft. But we're thrilled that we've got Xavier. He's already back in training really hard. He's going to be a super player for us.
Lammy, there's obviously a lot of speculation at this time of the year. What would you say to our fans who are hearing, rumours and noise outside the club being spoken about?
Yeah, we understand the interest that every club's involved this time of year. It drives a lot of media coverage, which is exciting for the industry and exciting for our fans. I just ask them to hear from us, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we can about anything that's going on at the club.
Lammy, thanks for your time and good luck with the weeks ahead.
Thanks, Matty.